Okay, hey guys, AnimeWestReacts. Here's some reaction to Seraph of the End, chapter 107, titled Angel's Plan. So, cover page of Shikima Doji sending out one of his sight chain things. Real nice. So, yeah, last chapter ended with him telling Mika to sleep. So, this chapter starts up with it. He's like, sleep, I say. And Mika's like, no, He says, no, you can't, not yet. It's too soon for you to become Yu's demon. I can stop you sleep. He's saying it's too soon to become his demon. So it was always part of the plan to become his demon, is what it makes it sound like. I can stop you, and then Mika says, oh no, I can't stay. And then you hear Mika, hey Mika, and then it says, there you. Mika, let's do it together, we can, and then he yells, no, you will sleep. And it says, Mika, close your eyes and say my name. Call me with your heart. And Hugh's saying it, and he says, I'll. He's like holding his head, saying, And then he says, Mika. And then he says, you. Mika, do you remember me now? And then he says, sorry, I don't. What really? Mika says, sorry, I don't. And then he says, what really all? But it seems like we're in trouble. We'll have to work together. Then Hugh says something. It says, blah, don't worry about it. We can do it together. Sorry, the camera's like over the word bubble so I can read it. And so yeah, Mika then says, what makes you say that? He looks super duper extra dangerous. Yeah. So we'll work together and we'll blast him away. Yeah, he like punches the air, you see the angel go flying. Then he says, I highly doubt it's that simple. Besides, I've overheard him talking in that vision saying you were created by that winged man. Not only that, you were to be the sacrifice used to resurrect the corpse they called Mika. That body is it supposed to be mine? And then he says, if I can bring Mika back to life, I don't really see a problem with that. And then Mika's like, how can you know if it's good or bad if we don't know anything about it? Don't you remember any of that at all? And he's like, not really. Yep, don't remember it at all. And then Mika says, don't tell me you're an amnesiac. And then he says, yeah, that's right, I'm an amnesiac. I forgot that. And Mika's like, seriously? And he says, oh, but I totally remember the last 16 years and about how I thought you died and how I tried desperately to survive so I could get revenge for you. But then, right when I find you again and think I finally got you back, bam, you're suddenly a little kid and don't remember the last 16 years. Do you know how much of pain that is? And then Mika smiles and said, that does sound like a pain, yes, for both of us, And both are like, And he's like, oh well, we're still alive and together, so what else matters? And he says, it's weird, I don't remember you at all, but I have that same feeling. Why is that? He says, because we're family. And then he's like, are you sure about that? Didn't seem like family in that vision. And Yu says, who cares? That's all way in the past. What's any of it matter anymore? Besides, these last 16 years are way more important to us, right? And he holds his hand out and says, don't you agree? And then Mika says, I do agree, oddly, even though I don't have any memories of them. So yeah, Mika. And Yu says, take my hand and let's be together. You become my demon. And then Dodi shows up, or Sikamadu appears saying, pardon me, or like you see the angel feather, and then you see his face saying, I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. And you see goes from like the lab to this blank room, and then you got you and Mika in front of him. It says, that lovely little dream. How about you sleep while you enjoy it? And suddenly, or Rigger makes this like giant seal or spell circle out of chains in his hand. And then he says, what in the world are you starting with this? Or Erd says, what in the world are you starting with this? Rigger says, I say the climax of our little story, perhaps. And he says, why'd you create that cell, by the way? A jail that drains more power the older the vampire is. Older the vampire it holds. Who do you think really belongs in there? So yeah, the chains are going into, yeah. You see the two of the chains like split off and they go into Gurren and Shinya. And they grab, or they pierce through Raime and Byakko. And so yeah, so they both go, huh? And then see like the chains wrap around them, and then Sugimoto says, now then, you two, pleasant dreams. And he like glances over and sees the circle. And he says, are you still trying to cling, Gregor? This is starting to grow annoying. And he says, shred them. And he's like, ugh. But I'm already short on time, too. Alright, then, if you despise me this much, you can die. And then you see like the scythe come out of it and stab Rigger. And he's like laughing, saying, I can die. You say I can die now? Ha! Finally deigned to notice me. You must really be in trouble if you do that, Daddy dearest. He says, Urge, support me. Today is the day we surpass you. And then you say, like, the chains. Like, throws another chain. One's going into Shinya. One stabs into Kimazuki. And they're like, everybody's like, what? Gurren. And then the chain says, Gurren. Saito. It says, Saito, then it says, it's begun. It's time for us to put our plan into motion. Help me. And you see, like, the chain, or it's like this thing goes into Gurren's hand. It says, use the drug I gave you. Take your demons back from the first, then use Kimazuki's power. That will let you reach you and Michaela and save them from the first assault. And then Gurren immediately says, Mahiru. And then she like throws something to Kimazuki, and Yoichi says, do it. It'll give you control of your demons' hearts. And Mitsuba says, you sure we can trust them? And then Yoichi says, well, Yuichiro and Michaela are in trouble. And then Kimazuki finishes saying, we haven't much choice but to do it. And then Shinoa says, big sis, give me the drug you're using. If it's through me, I think the poison can still reach him. Then she says, the one I'm using is poison. It's pretty much lethal for us too. Are you sure? Then she laughs, says, what are you worried about? What are you worried about that for? You're using it. And she's like, well, I'm already dead, you know. And then Shinoa's like, give it to me now. And then she uses it. Says, I'm coming to rescue you. So you see all these chains coming out of Kasekio's coffin. And then he says, I'm tired of bothering with you. I think I'll just ignore you. Besides, right now I have to pin both you and Michaela with a scythe and make certain they're both properly sealed. And then he says, huh? And then, yeah, Kimazuki comes in with the slicing. He says, who are you? And he's like, Yuichiro, Michaela, wake up. We're here to save you. Yoichi says that. And then Kimazuki's like, come on, you get up already, you idiot. Says, your demons are my servants. How are you here? And he says, stupid you, get up. And then he's like, this is not part of my plan. It's starting to aggravate me. Die. And so when he tries to use the scythe, he's like, what's this? My sights are slow. He's like, poison again. However, I've still got enough power to kill them all. And he says, here he comes, Yoichi. I see him. We'll stop him for sure. So he starts to say, Gekkoin, stop listening to that human Ann. And Yoichi says, shut up, you monster. If you dare hurt my family, then you die. He like shoots at him. He blocks it. Kimazuki attacks and says, send him to another world, Kasekio. Yeah, he tries to get him in the coffin, slices at him. Then Kimazuki grabs hold of his scythe, tells Yoichi to shoot both of them. Then you see Yoichi gets sliced through and says, now then, with them out of the way, it's time for me to... And we go back to Mika, holding his hand out to Mika, and says, still, if I take your hand, then what? Then he says that winged man didn't look like the sort that could didn't look like the sort we could beat with our power. And then Yu says, "Come on, you can't say that until you try." And he says, "Yes, yes, I can. You should have realized that too. There's nothing we can do to him." And then Yu's just like, "Yeah, it'll work out. So it'll work out. I'm sure of it. We're more family besides the two of us." And then he says, "Huh? It's not just." Or yeah, Mika says, "Huh?" And then Yu says, "It's not just the two of us anymore. Don't you remember Akane and the other kids? Then there's Gurren, Shinoa, Mitsuba, Yoichi, even Kimazuki. Isn't that awesome? The world may be a total wreck, but we still have a huge family. There's still plenty of value in living. There's still a powerful desire to live and protect our family. Mika, you can devour all that desire. Be my demon." And he smiles and says, "Okay, I'll devour your desire and I will be your demon." And yeah. And then you see you on the final page with Mika, which is another katana, which looks pretty awesome. And then it says, "Slice them open, Mikaela." And then chapter ends with Shikamaru saying, "Wait." So yeah, pretty good chapter. Hope y'all enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to leave a like, comment on the video, subscribe for more anime reaction reviews and manga reviews. Lots of interesting things going on, which makes it seem like Shikamaru is probably not the main villain. Just going by the way he was talking, he's like trying to prevent something from occurring, it seems like. But yeah, leave a like, share the video, hit that notification bell, subscribe, check out the Discord, and I'll see y'all later. So yeah.